Welcome to Flory Models Daily Vlog. Here we are, Wednesday the 17th of June 2015. Get the year right. Really making headway now, really sort of, pushing through with it. Developing ideas about how we're going to do it, finalised it on the Typhoon now. Sorry it's a bit late going up yesterday, but part 3 is up on the site, went up first thing this morning. As you can see, we have really chopped this about. Gone through it, as you can see we've got some covered, some not. This is what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on having the entire of this side uncovered. We're going to have to repaint in, but we can wire up super detail and everything else like that. And we're electing to take the top off of the actual system here. So what I've done is, if you imagine normally you'd have something like this, and then I've got another panel here for the fuel tank. I've cut this entire section out of the wing, okay? And we've taken this forward section off here. Haven't taken it all the way along both ways, because obviously you've got a bit of fuel tank hanging out here, and then just this one down here as well. But needless to say, you can see that fuel tank in the middle, which looks really, really nice. We can see the actual main wing tank itself, but also we're going to see all the wiring and all the details for the actual gear. Now, I wasn't too sure which way to do this. I didn't know about having the ribbing showing through. I was going to actually remove the back, sand it away, so you're just left with the ribbing, and then have that coming through. Or do we take it off in one plate? I'm not quite sure of that yet. I'm still may just sand it off completely, the back, so we're left with just the actual ribbing going across here. As I say, it's a little bit which way to go with it yet. Time as well, it's quite a long job to put that, but it may be worth it. But needless to say, if we take, this is the other half that we've done, we've cut this up out as well. What's going to happen is, if I get this right, okay, if we just line this up a second, it should fit in here, or it did during testing. Okay, so that's just going to go in there, and then this will pop in here somehow. Come on, it fits in there, and this is obviously the area you're going to have, once we get this tucked in, exposed. It's going to be exposed everywhere, really, like that. So, it shows this entire area, the gun bay, we can have the engine running, some work being done on it and everything else like that. But you can see that is generally how it's actually going to go and how it's going to fit. We've made adjustments on this side as well. If we can get it in, I don't know why it's quite sitting in here, it did in testing. There we go, there it is, all in there now. So what we've done is we've made it a cut along this edge here as well. So we've got the actual, this entire leading edge of the wings all covered, and then it comes down. Then we can see a little bit of the actual system down there, but this is where the actual cowlings and everything around the engine would fit on this anyway, naturally. So this side's left very, very natural, and actually, to be honest, isn't a bad joint, even though that's just a quick push fit. I think that's going to go in there, an absolute treat, and we're not going to have too much of a sort of issue going under here. We don't have to worry about gaps down here, because this is all going to be exposed anyway. But generally, I think it's actually sort of coming together quite nicely now about how we're going to be doing this. But that's how it's actually going to be. As I say, it's coming together rapidly. So we've got down here all the tail planes are done, all the rudders, flaps, and everything else like that, ailerons, all the other bits I am keeping as well. So if we did want to cover this up, i.e. for painting wise, hopefully I can just come back in with a lot of this stuff, and we can actually seat this all in there just like that, and we're going to be able to put it all together. That's why I've kept all the bits and didn't just chop them up. They're all very carefully razor sawed away, following panels and things like that. But hopefully it will give us that thing where we can see all the details traditionally you wouldn't see, like in the wheel well. There's a lot of detail goes in there still, and we're going to wire it up as well. Same with the guns, things like that. So everywhere you look, there'll be lots of little bits of detail to look at. So needless to say, coming on very nicely with that one. I'm going to have another go at it tomorrow as well. Obviously Thursdays is review day, so I've got a couple of reviews for you. But I'm going to work on this in the morning as well, and then hopefully get it as a whole. And this is what I was trying to do this week. Get this thing, put it together, get it as a whole, and then what can happen is it can wait over in the spray bay. You can carry on watching the videos as they go up on this one, and I can get going on the other Typhoon, the 32nd Revel one, next week as a whole, and then the week after they can all be painted together, and I can convert everything down here into a spray booth, hopefully just before we go away. So we should be okay with that one. So coming along very, very nicely. Apologies about the live show last night. One of those things, technical things, it works flawlessly every time, and then last night for some reason, about 6 or 7 minutes in on the live show, it dropped out, and we had a blue black screen saying, connection lost, blah blah blah. and then it just left us scrambling because we had to get the old school way when we run a hard cable literally from the modem upstairs and bring it down, plug it in computer, reset everything, boot everything back up, try and find the links we used before and everything else to get us back online. So we are off air, I think, for about, I don't know what it is, 6-7 minutes, and then we carry on crystal clear and everything else like that. And if you missed last night's show, you would have seen us, I just grabbed them, should have them down before, making these guys. So myself, Sid and Steve all built, in the 2 hours we were on air, TIE Fighters. These are the Bandai ones, absolutely fantastic. So we had a couple of TIE Fighters on the go, and with me and Sid, and then Steve joined in with his one as well to get them all done in the space of the show. We had no real problems, just the line up with the actual wings, getting those on there. The way they go in, they only go one way, so just be careful how you put them in, because when you push some of these push fits in, they don't tend to come apart very easy. So, but you know, join us if you didn't watch it, have some laughs. We answer a lot of questions, we got through all the questions last night and everything else like that, so we enjoyed it thoroughly. As we mentioned, don't forget that the Stirring Up group build actually ends on Saturday. I know it's flown wrong. Don't forget, everybody who completes gets the actual Flory Models medal, and it's going to get the sticker set, I do believe, as well. So it's well worth getting your time to get them finished off, get those final reveal photos done and everything else this week, because it is going to close on Sunday night. Okay, so get them in first. But I thought it'd be interesting if we have a look around at some of your great work. So to start off with, Gerald Hardley, sorry, I'm looking this from a long way away. I know you'll get the proper images, but he's done an absolute amazing diorama, which I just wanted to show you guys. Absolutely lovely. It's the Africa Corps one. Lots of different ideas going on here. The great thing with dioramas, your eye should always be looking for different things, and in this one you certainly get it. As you can see on these photos, there's lots of different things, from the vehicles, the crews, right the way round to the injured troops inside. Absolutely amazing work by him, very nice to have it. And as I say, dioramas don't have to be that big, you know, you've got so much going on in such a small area like that, and it is that little snapshot of life. So congratulations, well done to him. What else we got down here? We got the Airfix. This is the massive 1/24th scale Junkers JU 87 Libya 1941. Again, to be honest, this kit isn't the best one in the world, but he's done an amazing job on this one. Some very nice weathering on it, and all the little techniques that we sort of picked up here being put to good work, fading everything down, and again in an unusual colour scheme, being desert and everything else like that. Nice clear photos. See, natural bases, absolute work every time for it. But as you can see, indoors as well, absolute stunning. But we know that kit can be, let's face it, somewhat of a handful, and he's completely mastered that one. Mark Otterwaite, he's done a amazing 1/32nd F-16, lovely little diorama with it down here as well. Very nice with the patches, setting it all off, as you can see. Yeah, and complete with the very famous crew figures as well, as you can see, but absolutely beautifully weathered, very nicely done. Again, a diorama just about squeezes on the base, and it gives it so much presence because there's just so much going on with it. It's very nice to have it all opened up as well. The Tamiya kit lends itself to this beautifully because you get all of this detail which traditionally is lost and covered up, isn't it? So there we go, and it's a brilliant JDAMs on that one, going right the way through. So again, very nicely done. And up last for today, we'll have a look at a few more of this as we go round. But Ralph, he's done here, just going back to it, Tamiya's old school Bradley. You know, I built a Bradley, the more modern version. These are fantastic kits, cheap as chips as well, these kits, but he's done a great job on this one, as you can see, with the armour. So it is showing every different part of the actual builds that we're doing. Some very nice weathering on there, so well done to him. So there we go, that's about it for today. As I say, get going on those group build entries, make sure you get them finished. I think we've got around about 70 finished now, but if we can get that up, it would be absolutely fantastic. And as I say, medals and sticker sets and everything going out free of charge to everybody who completes. So remember, you've got to be a member, you've got to be in there and everything else like that. Loads of questions about the new group build that's starting up. It's not a NATO group build, the next one. Red versus blue is USSR and USA, and all the bits and pieces that were used operationally between 1967 and sorry, 1950 and 1969. Okay, between those dates. So if it was operationally used between those two dates, it can be it, and it can be anything from military, civil, space, figures, you name it, everything's covered in there, but it's not NATO. So no, you can't put in British stuff, for instance, and things like that. It does have to be American stuff, and right the way through that. But we're going to cover more about that at the end of the week on Friday's show, where we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth. There's one group build shuts, the new one starts up, and it's going to start on the 27th of July for the red versus blue group build. So plenty of time with that. So that's it for me. Hopefully tomorrow night when you join me again, I'll have this little guy together, complete and as a whole, and then that way we can move on with the Revel 132nd with a fully lit. I'm going to put lights on it and everything else like that. Typhoon. So we're going to have old Typhoon with new Typhoon. So there we go. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.